Alrighty then, so that's 1 year on from when I started doing the turbo on the Civic, and in that entire year I've had zero problems, and I mean zero, nothing. Oh, I'm lying actually. The oil feed union, the dash 10 on the turbo was loose. Possibly I didn't tighten up enough, but that's the only thing that's gone wrong with it. I had to remove the turbo to nip that up, because it's impossible to get at. So that's the only thing that's actually really gone wrong with it. But I mean, it was only a tiny little weep, like a little tiny little drip, but it wasn't a problem otherwise. Really, it was fine. Everything else has been spot on. The only thing we've changed on the car, which obviously there's been videos on as well, is we changed the clutch and the gearbox. So it's now got a limb slip diff in it, and it has a what we got, a twin plate clutch as well from CG Motorsport. That all seems fine as well, no problem with that. And since it's the 1st of January, I decided I was going to treat the car to some new spark plugs for the first time in about a year and a half. I put these in before it was turboed actually, and these are 7s, so I've got it to change up to 8s, so they're now on BKR 8EIX, I think it is. Is it 8EIX? Let's have a look at the box. Them ones, zoom in, yeah, them ones there. That's what we've gone. There were 7s before that, but we put it on to 8s. And these are the plugs that came out of it. Hopefully you can see it's not too dark. I'll go and put a bit of light on that. Yes, that's the plugs as they came out in order from 1, 2, 3, 4 as we go along. They're alright, considering this is still on the homemade map. Looks like it's been running not too bad, to be honest. Can't really say there's anything wrong with them, so that's all good. Nothing else has changed under here really at all, I don't think. I think the last thing I did was I put all the gold heat wrap on there, just because it's plastic I didn't want it to melt, and I put it on there because I had some left over. But everything else is exactly the same. Oh yeah, I've also fitted a breather from the PCV, little filter over there, that's it. Nothing else has changed at all, everything else is exactly the same as it was from the first day that I've done it. Like I say, it's not been a problem. We made 414 horsepower at 12 psi. It now runs about a bar, so I've just knocked over a bush. Now runs about a bar, so it'll be slightly more power. I wouldn't like to say how much more, maybe a fraction more, maybe it makes 420 now, who knows, but either way it's pretty good. It still is absolutely ridiculous to drive. It wheel spins first, second, third, sometimes I start fourth. It is only on 205 45 17-inch tyres, the AD08 RS, which I don't particularly rate at all. I would like to change those for 225 45 17s at some point in the future, but until they're worn off there's no real point because it's just wasting money. And I've got nothing else that has 17-inch wheels on to put the tyres onto, so there's no point, so I'll just keep them. Other things I'd like to change is I'm going to change the throttle cable for DC5 one, just because it's longer, and I'm going to reroute it underneath the inlet manifold just because it runs, well, it runs close to turbo. There's no real problem, but yeah, so I'm just going to change that throttle cable. I wrapped it in gold as well just to be cool, so change that there. Hopefully DC5 one's longer, and I'm going to run it down that side there, following like where the clutch line goes, sorry, underneath the inlet manifold, and then basically bring it back up there in like a loop, so it'll come up that and back into the throttle body. I'm not really fancy that, just to keep it out the way of the turbo, plus I think it looks a bit crap the way it sits anyway. But that's it, everything else in the car is the same, and as unbelievable as it is, totally unbelievable, nothing's gone wrong with it. I bought the car on 90,000 miles, I think it was. It's on coming up to 98,000 now. I'd say I've done knocking on for 5,000 with it been in the last year, with it been turboed, which is not bad really. I mean, it's not like the greatest test because it's only done 5,000 miles, but it's been in all weather conditions. It's been in snow, it's been in ice, it's been in the about few days we had like 30 odd degrees around here. Drove it to work and back every day. It's never overheated. It doesn't seem to leak any fluids particularly. It's got a tiny little leak from the cam chain side, but it's always like that since I bought it. I've got on these Chinesian plate things to go on it when I do the cam chain, but I haven't done that yet. But yes, it doesn't rattle at all. It's got the starter motor starter motor sneeze, which seems to be a common thing on a K20. My CRV does that as well, annoyingly. But yeah, I can't fault it. So 1 year in, the repairs on the car have been zero in prices, like absolutely zero. It's needed nothing. The things I've done to it, I've done because I was going to do them more than it needed them. It's needed absolutely zero. So for a driveway built turbo conversion and a map that main slicked up the main road, I can't really argue with it, to be honest. It's outlasted what I thought it would, and it performs better than I thought it would, and I'm still genuinely surprised it lives on as well as it does. But yeah, so there we go. So there will be more happening to this year. Little bits and pieces here and there. I'm probably not going to turn the power up much more. It'd be nice to aim for 500, but what's the point? It's just totally undrivable. It's bad enough as it is, really. I am going to change this driver's side engine mount. I'm going to put a better one in there. Going to put I don't know what I'll use in there, something a bit hard. I don't want a billet mount because I just don't really feel like I want the vibrations, but I'll maybe put like an invert one out of the cording. I'm going to look at doing that shortly. The rest of them have the inserts, they're all fine. But yeah, as it is, car is good. Happy days. So that's all I can say about my Civic. Is 1 year in, total cost of repairs zero. It's been great. Fully enjoyed building this and driving it, and it's still entertaining all day long. Even if it does wheel spin a lot, it's still funny. It's still bloody fast, mind. So that's it. So yeah, let's do some more mods this year. Thanks for watching. See you around.